Okay, so what if I told you there's a way to handle those really draining people in your life with just absolute calm? Like no fighting, no big arguments, no trying to fix them, you just free yourself. We're going to dive into some ancient Shaolin wisdom here that's all about protecting your own peace and moving on with some serious strength. Sound familiar? You know that feeling, right? You walk away from a conversation and you're just drained. Maybe confused or even feeling kind of guilty for no reason. Yeah, you've just been in the presence of what we call a toxic person. And it's not about just surviving them. The real goal here is to rise above all that, with your dignity totally intact. So the very first step, the most fundamental shift you have to make, is this. Your inner peace isn't something you just stumble upon. Nope. It's something you have to actively guard. You get to a point where you realize, okay, this is the real work. See, these people, they basically thrive on chaos. It's like they're carrying a storm around inside them, and without even realizing it, their main goal is to pull you right into their hurricane. The real threat isn't some random bad thing happening, it's a person who is literally at home in all that turmoil.
And this next idea is really the heart of it all. I want you to let this one sink in for a second. You are not obligated to carry someone else's unresolved pain. Say that again. It is not your job to suffer because they haven't dealt with their own stuff. You don't have to pick up what isn't yours to carry. True mastery isn't about reacting. It's about responding with this calm, clear, detached strength.
Okay, so this whole idea of not taking on their pain, that leads us right into this central Shaolin idea for handling negativity. It's actually super simple, but also really profound. It's all about reframing how we receive, or more importantly, how we choose not to receive what other people try to throw at us. And the name for this is non-acceptance. It's a conscious choice. You are actively, deliberately refusing to let their anger, their blame, their disrespect get inside you. Think about it. You are not a sponge designed to just soak up everyone else's negativity.
Which brings us to this powerful question they'd ask in the Shaolin temple. Ready? If someone tries to give you a gift, but you don't accept it, who does the gift belong to? Well, the answer's obvious, right? It stays with the person who tried to give it. And here's the kicker. The exact same logic applies to insults, to anger, to blame. If they offer it to you and you refuse to take it, it stays with them. It literally has nowhere else to go.
Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you practice non-acceptance in the real world? Well, you have two incredibly powerful tools at your disposal: boundaries and silence. These are your shields. Now, here's a really important point. Boundaries are not walls. You're not trying to shut the world out. Think of them more like sacred lines in the sand that you draw to protect your own peace. It's all about being crystal clear on who you are and what you will simply not allow in your space.
And look, toxic people will definitely test these boundaries. They'll try to spin it. They'll say your silence is weakness, that your distance means you're submitting. But what they see as weakness is actually your greatest strength. That silence, that's your power. That distance, that's your protection. And letting go is not a loss. It is total liberation.
All right, let's zoom in a bit and talk specifically about manipulators, because these folks, they have a very predictable playbook. And the cool thing is, once you see their patterns, you can completely disarm them just by refusing to play their game.
I mean, does any of this ring a bell? You confront them and boom, suddenly they're the victim. You try to set a boundary and now you're the selfish one. See, what they're really after is your reaction, your explanations, your justifications. That's their fuel. They thrive on it.
So what's the Shaolin response? It's simple. First, you step away. Seriously, just creating distance sends a much stronger message than any argument ever could. Second, you remain silent. If they're spreading lies, let them. You don't need to jump in and defend yourself against every false accusation. And third, you just live your truth. Your only job is to stay aligned with your own values and your own peace. Think of your emotional energy like a sacred temple. Your job is to guard its gates. And you know what? Not everyone gets a key. Not everyone deserves access. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop taking the bait on every guilt trip or insult, that's the moment you take all of your power back. And all of this, it brings us to the ultimate goal. Because this isn't just about coping or getting by. This is about achieving real, unshakable emotional freedom.
And this is a really important way to think about it. When you let go of toxic people, you're not abandoning them. What you're actually doing is returning to yourself. It's one of the deepest acts of self-love there is. You're not rejecting them, you are choosing you. You're choosing your own joy. You're finally coming home.
But I know what you might be thinking. What if this person is family or a really old friend you can't just, cut out of your life completely? The answer is something called internal detachment. See, not all letting go has to be a big, dramatic, external thing. You can still love someone, you can wish them well, but you do it from a distance while denying them access to your inner peace.
And so, in the end, it comes down to this. In the Shaolin way, you don't meet force with force. You meet it with flow. You learn to be like water, just flowing around the obstacles. You bend, but you don't break.
Be silent. Just remember that your silence can be the most powerful statement you ever make. The moment you stop trying to explain yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you, that's the moment you get your freedom back.
And be free. That's the whole point, isn't it? To become the master of your own inner world. To be so rooted in your own peace that their chaos just can't touch you. You rise above it. You move on. You become untouchable.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Not all battles are worth fighting. Sometimes the most powerful move is to just walk away. The wisest thing you can say is nothing at all. Know the incredible value of your own peace and guard it fiercely.